Right, all right. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton, A to Z Sports, Big Orange Game Day Reaction Show, Barton Jury Insurance, Lipkcom Sports Analytics, Window Nation, and Factor Meals bring you this show. But the thing that Barton Jury Insurance, Lipkcom Sports Analytics, Window Nation, and Factor cannot bring me is joy, Cromp, because everything about any good feelings that I've had about Tennessee football are completely crushed. Vandy comes in and runs you off of your own field. The game's not even over. We just said, screw it, let's go ahead and start this. You got completely embarrassed. You got pants by Pavia. He talked his talk all off season, and he came in and he walked his walk all over you, completely embarrassed you and smashed your head in with a lead pipe. And I got some thoughts, Crump, but what are yours? I'll let you start. What did you think? I got some thoughts.
Well, and here's the thing. Now's the time for all of us to get our thoughts out. Obviously, the comments are, and we appreciate all of that because, I mean, there's a lot we can talk about right now. Obviously, like you said, the game's not over yet. We're on the 30-yard line going in. We're down 21 with 2 minutes. Let's call it like it is. It's not likely. There's yeah, but we're going to end up going 8-4, an underachieving stat compared to what we thought this year. I thought 10-2, and I mean 8 wins still an accomplishment from I wouldn't necessarily say accomplishment. It's still a decent season, but for our expectations, underachieving in that sense. So kind of upsetting. I don't like, obviously I'll go to my deathbed saying Vandy is Vandy. I'll never not think that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The thing that I do think that Vandy has shown, now I have said this, I don't think it's sustainable over the long haul. But they have shown if you build your team with sixth-year seniors that are experienced, you can win games against younger teams that are developing. I have said for years, I think we need to do better in the portal. We do need more depth in the portal. At what position? That changes every year. I mean, literally every year that can change on what position we need. I do think Clark Lee's a good coach. Kudos to him, and I give him credit. I give him credit for saying home is where the heart is and signing an extension rather than taking the money somewhere else. I give him credit for that. And I only say that because we're playing them, and that came up because of all the coaching carousel that we're about to see in the next 3 to 4 days. But yeah, I mean, I think he's done a tremendous job of saying we're going to build our program for the now every year, and not say we're going to build and have a sustainable developmental program. It depends on which way you want to go. Does that make sense? Like, you can go either way.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him credit for saying that and going out and doing it this year.
So
they beat our bleep, whatever you want to say. They did.
Oh.
Is it upsetting? Yes. Is it disappointing? Yes. We can sit here and nitpick and go, well, this PI call, this PI call, this PI call, this PI call. That's not going to do anything when they run for 303 yards.
No, it was pathetic.
Were there some holding calls they could have called? Yeah, but they're still going to take those out and they still run for 255 to 275. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to determine the game is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That is not determining the game. In the second half, they came out and wanted it more, is what it felt like and it looked like. They took almost 7 minutes off the clock to start the second half. You can't have that. You can't have that. You just
smash
can't.
your head in.
Yeah.
On both lines of scrimmage, the offensive line, Tennessee's offensive line didn't hold up at all, and the defensive line couldn't get anything on. No, I mean they hit Pavia a few times, but one sack compared to Vandy's 4, and
we have talked about that during the year about the O-line not holding up in certain ways. Now, I could be wrong when I say this, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't Vandy the only SEC team that's had the same starting five the whole season?
I can see it. I
know they had the same starting five, but I think they said they were the only team. Now, that means they haven't had injuries up front. Do you know the last time I could ever imagine a team not having at least one offensive line injury because of somebody getting fallen on their knee or somebody falling on their ankle, something crazy? And the same five started all year. That's absurd. It's just they beat our absolute rear end off.
Oh yeah.
And somebody said, "What do I think of Tim Banks now?" Guys, I've said it all year. I don't think it's Tim Banks. Now, do I think and we can go to this a little later, do I think we need to evaluate the whole staff? Yes. That's every staff does that every year, though.
Well,
like everybody, I do think we need to get better at DB. Now, I think Redmond, I think he's came along and I think he's going to be damn good down the road because he was forced to play as a freshman. But
we can just go ahead and go down this road when you're talking about staff changes.
You're up first.
My immediate feeling is this: if the landscape was better, where there was a few hot up and coming names, and you weren't competing with, every big school in the SEC at the moment, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Florida, Penn State, all of these schools, if you weren't competing with all of those, I would be leaning towards just go ahead and get rid of this guy. And I'm talking about Heupel. Because here's my feel. Like I said, this is my first feeling right off the top.
Yeah.
No, and I may have said this at halftime. I know I've said it on the podcast, the Big Orange podcast with Zach. No coach in the entire history of this program, at least in the modern history, has lost to Vanderbilt and made it out alive. It does not happen. And then,
hold on before you finish though. This is a different Vandy team. All I'm going to say is it's a different Vandy team than the normal Vandy.
I'm getting there.
But I know what you mean though.
But especially, nobody loses to Vanderbilt on the field at Neyland Stadium and by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And makes it out of this place alive. This is an unforgivable offense. It's unforgivable at least until you make it right somehow. And frankly, making it right at this point would be having another 10-win season, making a playoff push next year. And right now, this roster in no way is set up for that. You're losing Aguilar unless he gets another year in this lawsuit. You got young guys there that aren't ready at your quarterback. You got Mike Matthews, who's a 5-star, and the guy can't catch a football. And then you got, on down from there, the offensive line is not set if Lance Hurd leaves. You don't have a left tackle. Your defense absolutely stinks, and you got a head coach right now that refuses to fire anybody. And if he refuses to fire anybody, fire him. That's what I would say. That's where my head goes immediately because I think it was – I forget who it was. It was a past Florida AD or somebody? I remember it's a famous quote from an AD that basically said, if you're going to do it later, just do it now. And losing to Vandy means you're going to do it later. Like that's typically, at least in the history of Tennessee football in the modern era, it always means you're going to do it later. So just do it now is my immediate feeling. Now, with that said, I'll put all that out there. With that said, let me reel this back and say they're not going to fire this guy. They're not going to fire Josh Heupel. They're not going to do that. And so he has to make changes. And this better be a situation where Danny White walks into his office tomorrow morning. Danny White stops him in the stinking hallway after this game, here in about 10 minutes. And he goes, Josh, somebody's getting fired. Somebody. He could even say, it's not going to be you, but it's going to be somebody. Because this is not okay. Nothing about this is okay. You got your head kicked in by Vanderbilt. Nothing about this is okay. Your head kicked in on your home field. Nothing about this is okay. And you can't beat around that bush.
I feel your frustration. I feel your frustration. Oh, no, I feel your frustration. 100%. Did they just beat the piss out of us? Yeah. Is that embarrassing? Yeah. Let's just call it like it is. And it's just I'm trying to think how to say it. Like, it's hard. It is hard to accept. But the harsh reality is they beat the out of us. I bleeped out the second half of the word.
Straight
they
up.
Did. Now, should they? No. Am I always going to think Vandy's Vandy? Yes. Should we have only scored 24 points? No. At all. At all. But Halsey's up for what is it? The offense coordinator or the assistant coach of the year.
Oh, God.
No, hear me out. No, I'm saying that in the sense of I still don't. I could be wrong. I don't think he calls the plays. I think Heupel does. Does that make sense? Like I don't think I could be wrong. I don't think he's the one calling the plays on game day. There are a lot of coordinators that get dubbed coordinators that don't call the plays on game day because their head coach is either side of the ball. I don't think we had that spark there tonight. There wasn't that like fire, whatever word you're looking for, the it factor. Something seemed off in that sense. To all the people that are saying Tim Banks this, Tim Banks that, everybody may get their wish. Dude may just end up at Virginia Tech as the D coordinator. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He had success at Penn State with Franklin. So I'm just throwing that out there. I have zero idea on that, but he may just do that to get the quote unquote fresh start. Once again, I just don't think we were. Something was off, but we did not adjust to their all-out blitz package in a way that made them get out of all-out blitz. We were banking on creasing up the middle on inside zone or essentially or counter, or a couple ways you could call the plays. So I'll just say in the run game, I do not think that was the right way to handle all-out pressure. I don't.
Clearly, yeah.
I mean, I just don't. I really don't. And hey, kudos to Pavia for having the game, but I'll never have respect for somebody that gets treated the way he gets treated, but Shedeur Sanders gets treated the complete opposite way. And Shedeur was half as a douchey attitude as he was. Just call it like it is. I can't. And anybody that wants to back him, that's your own personal choice. That is great. But that lets me all I need to know as a human being that you can sit here and say he's the greatest things in sliced bread, comes in with a ski mask, and then hate on Shedeur Sanders and kids like that are not doing that. That's my spill on that. I'll leave it at that. Take it for what you want. Don't care if you like it or don't like it. That's my opinion, especially in the world we live in today. But did he beat our absolute rear end tonight? Yes, he did. He did. Did we make him pay on his 2 interceptions? Yes. But that's the only thing we did.
That's about it.
That's all we did. All we did was make him pay on the 2 interceptions. Other than that, he did whatever he wanted to do in the second half. First half was average, right? Second half, he did whatever he wanted to do.
Everybody that I've seen I'm on the extreme end in what I just said, where I was like, if it was a different environment, you could just go ahead and fire Heupel as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm on the extreme end there. I believe that 100% because
but listen, we're all entitled to our own opinion. So
yeah,
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you having your opinion about it. We can disagree in so many ways, but it's your opinion. So don't. I don't want you to apologize for saying that's how you feel, because the bottom line is, I don't live in the state of Tennessee, but Tennessee's taxes pay his salary.
Well, they do. And
like my North Carolina taxes paid Bill Belichick, so I get it.
Well, and I'm not huge like on that talking point necessarily, but I went to Tennessee. I got multiple degrees from there, in fact. I've lived in Knoxville for most of my life. And so I care about this stuff. And the fact of the matter is just you don't lose this game and continue to coach at Tennessee for an extended period of time. It hasn't happened, and it won't happen here. I'll call that shot tonight. Go back and remember this show. Josh Heupel will be fired within the next 2 years at Tennessee. I'll put that out there.
Okay.
There you go. And I had this same. This was the exact conversation I had. It wasn't publicly like this. It was in group text that I had with like guys from A to Z and stuff. This was a conversation that I had when the Titans lost to the Ravens in the first round of the playoffs, when they had won the AFC and they got the bye and did the whole thing, and then they lose to the Ravens in that first game. I went, Vrabel's done, because if you're gonna have that season and then do that, that's the whole thing. Like, thank you for the regular season, but this is what matters. And in this situation, what truly matters at the end of the day in terms of building a winning football team, Heupel is not doing that stuff. He's a solid coach on game day, although situationally, kind of to your point, he probably has too much on his plate. He's calling plays. He gets scrambled in big moments. There's things like that. But he does not recruit at an elite level. He does not forage the transfer portal at an elite level. He does not utilize NIL at an elite level. Like, a huge example to me, basketball is a very different sport. Basketball is a way smaller roster, and I know all of that.
But it's all relative, though.
It is. Rick Barnes lost to Oregon State in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And at that moment, that was the I'm cooked on Rick Barnes moment. I went, this guy is donezo. Appreciate him up to this point. The Grand Admiral teams were fun. We've reached our time. Thank you, Rick Barnes. And he flipped around and revolutionized his take on things. He is taking advantage of the transfer portal in every way that he can and bringing in elite 5-star players. I mean, one of the tippy-top, highest-ranked players that Tennessee has ever gotten in the door this year. And those are the things that will build you a winning basketball program. Josh Heupel's not doing that stuff here. And I go, if you're not doing that, and then on the football field, you're getting blown out by Vandy on your home field, call it a day. Call it a day. And I say I would not be surprised if the calls actually came. I don't know if he truly gets it or not, but I think I would get it if he leaves for a Penn State. I would get it where he could reset his clock, and now that would leave Tennessee in a massive lurch. I'm actually not saying that would be good because of what I said earlier. I'm actually saying Tennessee's not going to fire him, and you probably shouldn't fire him this year because of the environment. There's way too many jobs open. There's way too much competition, and there's really not that many great coaches. At least it seems like that many great coaches up and coming that you could get. You probably shouldn't fire him right now. But if he bounced, I wouldn't be surprised. This is about to be toxic. This is about to be so toxic. You got blown out by Vandy on your home field. This is going to be bad.
The only advantage of any team, I'm going to choose my words wisely, so people that don't like to listen to people's comments and just want to read headlines because they're too lazy to read it, I guess. The only advantage of any team because let's call it is, there'll be a couple teams at the end of this week probably get rid of coaches at some point, and or a coach will leave, which now they have their jobs vacant. Is that there's who's accepted a job so far outside of Mora from Kentucky? James Franklin, but he wasn't technically employed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is to counteract your point. I'm not saying this should happen. Let me go ahead and phrase that, because there's nobody on this show. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Ain't nobody on this show. If they were to do that, everybody's still available. Does that make sense? I don't think it should happen. I don't. I do think we need to reevaluate everybody, and I have said that before, and I think we need to start with DBs. Now, I know we're young there, so to speak, but at some point we got to stop saying we're young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not an excuse.
So that's what I'm getting at. Like at a certain point, we got to say, hey, man, like we need to reevaluate. Every staff does it every year of looking. They do it. It's when your season's over, you do an internal breakdown of where, like it's called a self scout, and you self scout every position, right? And top to bottom, head coach does everybody. Offense does offense. Defense does defense. Special teams does special teams. Head coach does everybody. And you look at it. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is everybody's still available if that were to be the case. I don't think it should happen, but I'm not the one making the decision. Does that make sense? Like, just like you're not, Charlie, we're not the ones making that call.
Yeah.
Do I think Heupel just leaves on his own? I don't, because I think he's happy where he's at. I do. But keep in mind, maybe I'm delusional. And everybody, please feel free to let me know. I do think we are a better job than Florida and LSU at this exact moment. I do. No, at this moment, I think
LSU's tough to beat.
I think Tennessee is a better job than a Florida or an LSU.
Better than Florida, I would agree 100%. LSU,
I think it's a toss-up.
It's a much more fertile recruiting ground down there. But in today's world. In today's world, everywhere is because of NIL. If you've got people that are willing to put into the NIL fund, does that make sense? Like, the kids don't care if you live in Podunk, wherever state, if they're getting $1 million a year NIL. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So yeah.
Yes, there are. You can say, oh, Louisiana, they have quote unquote more players each year. Doesn't matter. We have a national brand that can go to Hawaii, Alaska, all the way up to Florida to freaking Maine. It doesn't matter. And we have the money. I can tell you that. We have the money. All I'm getting at is just to prove the point of what you're saying is nobody's hired a big name yet. That's coming in the next 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Where I could be wrong. I said it last week. I think DeBoer is going to Penn State. I do. Regardless of what happens tonight, I think he's gone because it resets his clock.
A lot less pressure there, no doubt.
It is, and if that's the case, then that's why we don't have to go down this road. But I don't think Lane said, because if you notice, all the reports were he's telling Ole Miss, is he staying or is he leaving? It wasn't he's staying or he's going to X, Y, Z. It was staying or leaving. I think he's trying to buy a few days to see if Bama's coming available. I do. I could be way off. But that's what I'm saying. The hottest name on the market has not accepted a job yet. He is the hottest name on the market right now. Let's just be honest.
He might tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. And he may very well. But all they said was he was going to tell Ole Miss tonight if he was staying or leaving, not necessarily where he was going. He may say he's going to LSU tonight. Or he may say that he's staying tonight. That's fine. I still do honestly think that DeBoer is going to leave. I do. And this will get people riled up. Just screw it. Why not? What's the one place that Lane said he would always come to? He would always come home. He's always regretted leaving. He's very emotional about his father, Monty, and his passing. Monty wished he never left Knoxville and living over on Cherokee Lake. All I'm saying is the hottest name has not been off the market. It's not off the market. I'm not saying do that. That is not what I'm getting at. But to go against your point of who would we get? Who's accepted jobs besides James Franklin and Jim Moore?
Yep. Well, look, here, let's do this. We're getting a little bit behind. We can continue this conversation because I think what we're going to do will lead back into it.
I do too.
As we always do, tons of people watching right now. We appreciate you. Truly, we can all just wallow in our misery here. Vanderbilt 45, Tennessee 24 is your final. Drop into the comments, everybody that is watching, and tell us your one word and one word only for how you're currently feeling.
This could get ugly.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be real. There's going to be a bunch that I probably can't even read publicly.
Yes.
But
Yes.
One word for how you're feeling. Drop in to the comments and tell us. And in the meantime, I'll tell you about Window Nation. You want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protected, and an investment that you can feel great about for years. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale through November. That is 50% off all window styles, and you can get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Replace your old builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. Here's why you should trust them. An A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 50-point inspection on every window before it leaves the factory, and then a 20-point inspection when it's installed. And your new windows can be installed in a day or less. There are over 45,000 5-star reviews for Window Nation. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Again, 50% off all window styles, and you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Don't wait. Put it into your window problems right now. Schedule a fast free estimate at windownation.com. Window Nation. Oh, have some mercy on us, Window Nation. We're going to need it here with some one words. Again, one word for how you're feeling after a 45-24 loss to Vanderbilt inside Neyland Stadium. I got to go a long way back. Oh, boy. This is a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've been reading them.
TK says, Banks, Joey, embarrassing. Jamie, pitiful. Steven, humiliated. RJ, pathetic. Jeff, embarrassed. Greg, assault. Michael, embarrassed. 92 Dom says that if there are kids around, put some earphones on them. He says, ass. I agree.
I love how you made it all caps, though, because it was all caps.
It was all caps. Dom did make it all caps. Shrike says expected. Elias says Faison. Oh, hopefully he's good. Sean says coachless. Jared, all one word, he says throwing up. Oh, man. David Arnold says Dookie. Crump, throw it to you. One word for how you're feeling at the moment.
I'm going to use just perturbed.
Yeah.
You know, like
100%.
I wanted to feel intelligent right now because, why not? No, I just it's disheartening, I guess, is another one that comes to my mind. And somebody, I love this comment. I'm not going to read it, but you'll know what I'm talking about, Charlie. It told me what I can say. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's disheartening because we had all the excuses aside of Joey showed up in the summer, blah, 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 for what we were able to do early on. You're sitting there going, dang, like we got a chance to legitimately probably go out here and win a playoff game.
It looked like
whether it's hosting or not, blah, blah, blah. But then you start thinking, and my guy hadn't talked to him all year hardly. My guy, Jeff, old Jeff Rubel.
Yeah, where's he been, man?
I don't know, but he asked a great question, and I was going to touch on it earlier. He said, he asked me, he said, what's Tennessee's best win? And I went back and looked at our schedule, and I go, oh, God.
Mississippi State, technically. And that's the
Mississippi State, Mississippi State or Syracuse.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You didn't beat a team with a record.
It didn't set in. Then I go, oh, okay. And that's where, like I said, perturbed or disheartening of, I thought we had so much more in the tank this year than what
I did too.
And I'm not saying the kids didn't play hard. It's not what I'm saying. and I know the old cliche, the ball, sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, blah, 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 blah. But it's almost like, when is it going to bounce our way? When is that field goal going to stay good and we win in regulation? When are we not going to throw a spider 2 wide banana inside for pick 6 with no time left on the clock at halftime? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the stuff that goes through my head that I go, they played hard all year, and I just the second half tonight, I did not think we played hard.
No,
and
it looked like you look like Florida in that second half last week.
I think that's a great way to put it, and that's where I'm going. It's disheartening because we've got a first-round corner in Hood. We've got I know he didn't play, but in McCoy. We've got a first-round projected receiver in Brazel. You know what I mean? We found a pretty productive replacement for Sampson in the tailback position. We found a very productive quarterback that, outside of a couple like what the crap plays, was efficient for the most part. It's almost like the football gods are going, no, we're going to take that back right now. And that's not an excuse. That's not what I'm just going with. Like, that's why it's disheartening, because there was so much more potential than 8 wins. There really was. And that's the things. Like, now listen, we're not in the boat LSU's in where you go, oh God, that's a dumpster fire. But it's still in a position that you go, is it any better?
Yeah.
Than a dumpster fire at this moment? Because we saw it. We saw the streaks by going, hey, everybody better get their mind right when they're playing us. Like, we saw those moments. That's why I say, like, I'm perturbed, but the disheartening feeling of it was there for the taking in so many ways.
That so many blown opportunities in the season, and this was just you got your butt kicked. I guess I haven't given my word yet. TRVS says depressed. Eric on Facebook says embarrassed. Leslie on Facebook says fudged up. 2 words, but we'll let it go because I feel the same way. And then RJ took mine. He said basketball. It's basketball season. At the end of the day, I'm a bigger basketball guy than I am a football guy. Obviously, I love them both dearly. And this basketball team looks really good. Beat Houston. You got tired and you blew it against Kansas, but it's an early season game. It's not going to be much as far as the season goes. You should have won, but it's basketball season as far as I'm concerned. We do have to do this, Cromp. So typically our Factor segment, brought to you by Factor Meals, is a grade on Joey Aguilar. And I guess we can still do that. But I want to get your grade on Joey Aguilar for the night, but then talk about the future at quarterback for Tennessee and kind of get your take on those things. We'll do that right after I tell you about Factor Meals. Fall always feels like a reset between back to school, busier routines, and shorter days. Finding time to cook can be tough, and that's why we love Factor here at A to Z. Their chef prep, dietitian approved meals make it easier to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious, no matter how hectic your season gets. They have more variety and more meals. Choose from a wider selection of weekly options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. And with Factor, and at factormeals.com/ATOZ Sports 50 off. That's the code. A to Z Sports 50 off. You can get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. A to Z Sports 50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Factor Meals. And as I said, we grade the quarterback. Yeah. I guess we can start there quickly. What did you think of Joey tonight?
In all honesty, I'd probably say I'm going to be generous here and say a B minus, if not a C plus, just because you got to. We've got some receivers now. They've got to catch the ball. We got some receivers around that we got to give them a chance. I just feel like we didn't. Now he didn't call the plays. I get it, but outside of that one zone read late that he pulled and made a hell of a play, there wasn't that one play that you go, there it is. That's going to win you a rivalry game. Yeah. And that was, it wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't a put the team on my shoulders and made a gut-wrenching play, whether it was just avoiding a sack. So I'm stuck between a C plus and a B minus.
I think I would just go C. It just wasn't enough. Wasn't good enough. Pavia showed you up and then some, and that's brutal. Joey just later in the season, he showed his limitations. And I say that, and this was the larger conversation that I wanted to have here before we wrap it up with our final segment. Faison Brandon, let's assume everybody comes as they should, and Faison Brandon is here next year, and then George McIntyre is there. The assumption is that Merklinger will transfer out. Joey could come back, and I'll say this. If they win that lawsuit, do you want Joey back?
Yeah.
Would you want to see that? Me too. I think so.
Oh, no, listen, guys, there's no doubt. Statistically, he's done great. But we got the biggest issue we've had at the quarterback position is we've had a brand new quarterback the past 4 years. Yeah. We've got to have some consistency. We've got to have some sort of consistency. So, yes, would I as a fan, would I like to see Joey back? Yes. But as also seeing how a kid of his age does hurt high school recruiting. And it's not just him. It is not just him. Now, if I'm the kid, I try to win the lawsuit. It's called like it is. I'm trying to come back regardless.
Make it $1 million bucks.
I'm just trying to figure out when is the limit by the NCAA. And they held the power for so long. I think they're just essentially approving everybody to appease everybody for how much they've messed up over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this. If you're going to sit here and say that you want it to be Faison, don't do that. I coach in the state that he plays in. He's a hell of an athlete, but he's got a long way to go throwing the football.
Well, and
he is a stud. Listen, he is a stud athlete. But a long way to go throwing the football for the SEC. Now, could he develop into that? Yes, 100%, because he's got all the measurables and everything you want. But we got to hit the freaking portal. We got to get to me. We do what LSU did, and they go get Mississippi State's true freshman starting quarterback, and then now he's about to be the future of the program for the next 2.5 years.
Joey coming back would be the perfect bridge, because McIntyre is just too slim and trim. A stiff wind would blow that kid over, and I think he has a pretty nice ceiling in the future. But next year, if you got to play him, you got to play him. But I don't think he's it. Completely agree with Faison. He's not going to be ready by next year. So Joey coming back. You would have that second year Hendon Hooker effect, where Hendon Hooker pretty good that first year. He figured it out with Heupel, had some nice games, but that second year when they really got it down and Heupel trusted him implicitly and it all clicked into place, you really took that step to something special.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to have a consistency at that position. Now I'll tell you this: the first kid I'm going after in the portal is Pitt's true freshman quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. There's going to be guys out there, not just him. Yeah.
I'm going after him and going, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
What do you want? What money do you want? We'll find a way to make it happen. We'll find a way, because you made Pitt relevant.
Yeah.
No, they got blown out today.
They got blown out today. Yeah,
they got spanked today.
Yeah,
but for what he did when he took over, you sit there and go, somebody's gonna pay him some money, and wherever he goes, I think they're gonna win a good. I don't obviously you never know where he goes. He may stay, but a good amount of ball games if he does leave and go somewhere. He's the first call I'm making if I'm Heupel. And I mean, like tomorrow, I'm making that phone call.
Tonight,
like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you just
because the portal opens in what, a month?
You got to be extremely aggressive in general with the portal.
You have to.
Look at that
that's
team.
Another point. The quarterback from Cal. I just don't think we're going to get him because of. I don't think we would get him because of what happened with Nico and the Polynesian background. With that being an excuse, that wasn't the issue. That was not the issue. We've had phenomenal success with players from Hawaii in Knoxville that have been dudes. I just don't know if that would play a role. Now, is he a gamer? 100%. But with them firing their coach, he's probably out too. But I think Oregon is the place to going, even because he signed with there first, but still.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like, we go into the quarterback position. Like, we got to hit the portal. We got to see what happens with Joey, but either way, we got to hit the portal.
Yes.
We've got to hit the portal by going, and I love what LSU did, and they went to a true freshman starting quarterback and said, yeah, you're going to sit as a true sophomore. You're going to sit, but we might be able to redshirt you, and then this is your program. And then Nussmeier gets hurt, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, now you're going, LSU's a better team with him playing than they were with old buddy.
Yep.
That's the route I wish we would go, is get a kid that goes, I'm going to upgrade my program. I'm willing to be a 1B for 1 year, and then I'm the guy. Like, that's what I wish we would do. And to me, you start with the guy at Pitt. Exactly. Oregon did that with Dante Moore, too. He started at UCLA, went and sat for a year, and now look at him. They're comparing him to C.J. Stroud. Like, if he leaves, he's probably going to be one of the top two quarterbacks picked. And then I think Cal's kid goes back to Oregon. But still.
It needs to be somebody.
There are quarterbacks that we can take that have experience, not just we're taking a kid he's been a third stringer at UNLV and we're going to take him. Not that. There are quarterbacks that are starters that we can be like, all right, come on, let's go. And we need to do that. And we don't need to let the kid at TCU tell us no. We've got the freaking money. No kid at TCU should ever be able to tell Tennessee no. Like, that's what happened last offseason. It shouldn't happen.
I mean,
what money do you want? We've got the money.
To me, that's one of the big things. Obviously, it's required, but it was required last offseason. Heupel didn't do it. And so that's just going to be so imperative to me that they hit the portal hard. I got to see that. Again, they're not going to fire this guy. And he's probably not going to fire his friends. If he does, he's going to be forced to do that. But this is what has to happen.
As a human being, that is respectable.
Yeah.
As a human being, that's respectable. But the bad part is that's not the business that you're in.
No, it's not.
That's just the thing. Somebody did ask about what me and you both think that a couple like top 3 portal positions: quarterback, any O lineman, any position on the O line, and then secondary.
Secondary, yep.
And that's no particular order, but those 3 are the 3 that I think we got to go and say we're going to find the best of the best at those positions.
You got a pretty good running back coming back. You got decent wide receivers coming back.
Yep.
Those 3 are just massive. The offensive line, I mean, look at the way that you got bullied in the trenches tonight by guys that are 25 years old. I mean, it has to happen. But let's finish with this. It's going to be all part of the same conversation. We usually do the Lipkcom Sports Analytics with, where we talk about the next game. There is no next game. I mean, there is a next game. It's a bowl game. We don't know what it is. Going to be in the freaking Liberty Bowl or whatever. Lord, honestly, what it's going to be is the stupid Music City Bowl, and it's going to be so annoying.
Say, we'll end up in Nashville.
It's going to be Music City Bowl, and I'm going to roll my eyes so far back in my head that they get stuck. But let's finish with this. Tell you one last time about our great partner, the Lipkcom Sports Analytics grad program. Analyze, strategize, and revolutionize with the Lipkcom Sports Analytics program, a grad program online through Lipscomb University in Nashville, a university that's not Vanderbilt. Support them because they're in Nashville. No, they're not Vanderbilt. Lipscomb University. That's their tagline as far as I'm concerned. Turn your passion into a profession and go beyond the box score. Lipscomb University Sports Analytics program is turning sports fans into data-driven decision makers in the exciting world of professional athletics. At Lipscomb, we're not just watching the game, we're changing how it's played. There are innovative sports analytics program. Lipscomb.edu is where you need to go to learn more. And thanks to all of our sponsors for this whole season. Obviously, we got one more game left, but shout out to all of them for supporting the boys here. Through thick and thin, Lord knows. But we'll just finish with this. I mean, you got your butt completely kicked. And do do you even care about this game, like this bowl game that's coming up? Because that's what we're about to face with all of these. And this is the way I'll frame it. As a former player, how do you get yourself to care at this point? Now you got your butt kicked by Vandy, 8-4, relative to the rest of your season, a meaningless bowl game. How do you get up for this? How are you coaching these boys to care?
Now it is a lot harder in today's world, but the easiest way is it's literally everybody's year-to-year contracts as players, and whether you want to be at the University of Tennessee playing football or not, you go out there and play your best because that's going to be your tape if you're trying to leave. What I'm getting is, I hate this. I hate saying that, but that is the easiest way to get players up. I mean, look 100%. What Dion did at Colorado. He held an actual scrimmage for the players that everybody knew at Colorado that is going to hit the portal and was like, I need you to practice hard the rest of the year. I need you to be bought into our program. So we're going to hold a scrimmage for you, and we'll cut up the tape how you want to send out when you leave. It's such a different day and age. And I think that's the easiest way to get the kids up. Now, if they're seniors, you're either getting ready for the draft so you don't have to play, or if you are playing, it's, hey, man, you're going to try to help your draft stock here. This is the last chance scouts get to see you play. Go out here and play. It's like I said, it's just a completely different day and age, because I love what Drinkwitz at Mizzou said. I'm not obviously a Mizzou fan, but it's the fact that, like he said, if you're not one of the 12 teams, is your season a failure? No. You can, and we as fans got to stop thinking of it that way, because the reality is there's 136 teams and only 12 are getting in. We can't say it's a failure if you're number 13 through 136 and you're in the bowl games, because that's how college football has been forever, was bowl games. So it's a special time, as they say. It's just, once again, it's just different now. It's totally freaking different now. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the easiest way to say it is, like, guys, if you're planning on trying to leave, I don't have to know. You can tell me later, but I need you to practice hard so you can have that practice tape, and you better play hard so you can have that tape too if you're trying to leave, because I need you to. And that's the easiest way to pull them together. Or if you're a senior, hey, this is the last chance scouts get to see you. Play your butt off. Play your butt off. Or if you already got the grade you want, you're obviously not going to play. It's just weird.
Fair enough.
It's just weird nowadays.
It's super weird. And that's why I ask is –
because honestly, that's the real conversation that every coach, not just high school, every coach is going to have that's not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Like I saw a comment earlier, and I'm not trying to bring this back up, but I meant to say it earlier, and there was another one by by the same person. I think it was Zach Braswell. Yes. So if I can't remember the other comment, but I do think this was there's a little validity to it, because I did predict with zero facts behind it, zero evidence, that DeBoer would go to Penn State and Lane would go to Alabama. He brought up a good point. No idea. It's just a fun talking point. Is there a chance that Lane Kiffin tells Ole Miss he's going to stay at Ole Miss, holding out for Tennessee or Bama for down the road? That's a great point.
That would be
but I'm just saying that is an act. And with what we're going on, the Lane Kiffin saga, waiting to see what he's going to do. It's like LeBron James decision day right now. That's a fair point. It is, because he has told me to my face that the biggest regret he ever has in his life was leaving Knoxville. His dad said the same thing, but he also had so much success at Bama that in a heartbeat he's going back to Tuscaloosa if he could. It's just, I thought that was there was a great question and a great talking point of, if you're Lane, do you just stick it out at Ole Miss until the job that you want is available? I don't know. That's a good point.
Maybe. I mean, I would say at the moment, Tennessee has a better functioning athletic department than LSU.
Ain't no doubt.
I
wouldn't go to LSU right now.
Your athletic department's not being run by a rogue governor.
That's what it doesn't. I don't care how much money. I don't care how much money LSU's offering me right now. I would not go to LSU because of what you just said. They've started. They now have set the precedence that a governor that has nothing to do with athletics will get involved in your decisions. And I wouldn't do that to myself. If my university I'm at now, Ole Miss, is saying we won't be outbid, why would I leave?
Yeah.
That's just me. But you're right. We do have a better functioning athletic department.
That would be so brutal if he did that, though. I mean, God, if you told them you were staying and then Alabama opens up and you go, oh, wait, peace. I'm out here.
Well, here's the thing, though. Is it out of the realm? Because the fun part about this is our show.
No.
We talk about what we want. Is it out of the realm that Iron Bowl just started, that at, let's call it 12:30 in the morning, there's a report that says Kalen DeBoer is Penn State's head coach? Is that out of the realm?
No.
I don't know. Do I see it happening that early? No. But it's got to happen before Tuesday because signing day's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like I could see Lane saying, hey, I'm leaving, but not saying where, and telling LSU, give me 3 days, and seeing if Alabama comes available. I could see that happening.
God, that would be crazy.
But
for Lane, I could see it. So
he's getting $100 million regardless. So good for him. Let's just call it like it is.
Yeah. Hey.
Right.
Well, I don't know what'll happen this offseason, but this whole conversation, I tweeted it out during the game, near the end of the game. This is going to be a toxic offseason now. Heupel can mitigate it if some heads will roll. Fire Banks, maybe fire Halsley, maybe,
Well, neither one are happening.
Got to be made.
Neither one of those are happening.
I don't think so either. Let me be clear.
Listen, especially with Halsley being up for assistant coach of the year, it's not happening. Banks may leave on his own. He may go to Virginia Tech. But the firing is not going to happen. All right, it's just not. Now, I could see replacements at position coaches. I don't see replacements at coordinator unless it's of their own accord. I'm going to go somewhere else. But what I want to see is just me. I want to see the Ohio State mindset of, dude, we dropped to number 7 in recruiting. Things are going south in Columbus. That's the conversation I had the other day is why I say that. That's the mindset. If they're not in the top 5 in recruiting, which also means you're going to the portal, then in Ohio State's mind, it was a down year recruiting. It's not that we've been bad. We've not been horrible, but I want to see us in the top freaking 5 every year in recruiting now. Like, that's what we need. We need to be 5 in recruiting, which means we're going to get dudes in the portal that can come in, play at the drop of a hat, and be an instant impact, All-American style player, right? Like, go get the Caleb Downs type player. Go get that strong safety. Why not? Who cares? Oh, he's leaving XYZ school? Cool. Come to Knoxville. That's the stuff that I want to see. And if we did that, then this whole deal about Heupel this, Heupel that is off the table, because Heupel is a damn good coach. He is. I mean, he is. But the reason why he's so good as well is he knows we can always critique a call here and a call there. We can. We're human. We can all do that. But he knows how to play to his players' strengths. None of us, including myself, are in those meetings to understand their weaknesses for whichever player. He's really good at not playing to their weaknesses. We've got to get more players that make it easy for him to play to the strengths, that make play calls super easy. Like, it's 4th down today, Michigan, Ohio State, 4th and 5. And they run a slant and go to Jeremiah Smith for a touchdown. They run a double move on 4th and 5. Oh, well, because they've got the number 1 receiver going to be picked after next football season because he's a sophomore.
Yeah, it's easy.
So they can run a slant and go on 4th and 5 because they know it's going to be complete. It doesn't matter. Build the ball up to them. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, that's where I want us to go, because then this conversation about Heupel is null and void. Because then you can go, guys, it doesn't matter the down distance. You can't cover that dude, or nobody can get open on that guy, or nobody can run the ball inside because of those 2 D tackles. That's what we're missing, is the lack of depth of that. And we've been saying that for years. So that's my hope, is we get more into the portal where you can still develop. We can still develop players, but the portal to get instant results.
You just got to look across the field at the team that kicked your butt tonight and see how desperate you have to be in the portal.
Because that's what they did.
Yeah. Desperate. I mean, complete. You lost by 21 to a clown program on your home field. A program that has had 0 success in its history. Their first 10-win season ever. In their entire freaking history. They got that 10th win by 21 points on your home field. And if that doesn't light a fire under you in this way, what in the world will? And that's where I'm at. Obviously, all the stuff I said earlier, he's not getting fired. So,
no, listen, I don't disagree with what you're saying.
What will do?
Watch this. I was one of the number 1 people saying this. When Clark Lee took that job, and then Kelly left Notre Dame, and then you go, dude, if he didn't leave Notre Dame, or if he didn't leave for Vandy, he's going to have that Notre Dame job, and he's going to get fired at Vandy in 2 years. Oh, God. He's going to get fired at maximum 3. And then you see what I'm going to use the word that you were saying. And it's right. Then he got desperate, and he went to the portal. And he went, now listen, he didn't, at Vandy at the time, you couldn't get all the high name, like flashy names. Didn't matter. He got the kids that wanted to come in and knew they could play and bought into his culture, bought into his system. And he's done a damn good job. And he just signed a 6-year extension. Good for him. And they beat our ass tonight. It is that simple. There's no other way of saying it. And you got to tip the cap to him and go, do I think that's sustainable for 15 years to do it that way? No, I don't. But what it did do, let's call it it is, what it did do is it got a 5-star quarterback to flip from Georgia to Vandy.
Yeah. That's what you
all he needed was 1 season of it.
Yeah, it's what you have to do right now. It's what you have to do.
And that's what we're on the same page in that. We've got to go to the portal. We've got to have the desperation mode of I need to get every starter that was efficient with whatever school they were in and not get told no. Can't get told no. What money's it going to take? Doesn't matter. What do you want? We can make it happen. Like, that's the mindset we got to have in the portal.
Well, all of that starts right now, right this second. We'll see. Crump and I will be back for the bowl game, whatever it ends up being. We'll see. Yeah, that's it. But one of the most embarrassing losses in the history of Tennessee football. I don't care how good Vandy is. You can say that all day long. I don't care how good Vandy is. I don't care. You lost by 21 to a clown program on your home field inside Neyland Stadium. This would be a little more okay if it was in Nashville in front of, their sold out crowd that has actually 20% opposing fans. But this was in Neyland Stadium. Nothing about this is okay. I don't care if they're the 85 Bears out there. It is Vanderbilt. And you don't lose by 21 to them on your home field and get away with it. So I will be angry about this and steaming for some pretty good amount of time. If you want to hear my full thoughts, somebody at the A to Z social team tweeted out that I said Heupel will be fired within 2 years. I did say that. Go back and listen to the full show if you want to hear the full context there.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up on Fox Sports Knoxville with yeah.
Here we go.
Take me out of context. But this is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't care how good Vandy is. I don't. And I never will. I never, ever, ever, ever will. Everybody can say that till the cows come home. Austin Stanley, I see you out there. You can say that forever. How good Vandy is. I don't care. And I never will. And until Vandy becomes an actually decent football program, I don't.
They got to sustain it a little bit, but watch this. Austin, you live in Nashville. Stop playing to the hometown fans.
We all see you. We realize
we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. You're buttering them up. No, but I mean, all awesome guys. Like, listen, got to give for what Clark Lee's done there. I got to give him credit because there's not many people that could have went to a Vanderbilt. James Franklin did it and got out after 3 years, right? And he took Vandy was a stepping stone for him, right? I got to give Clark Lee credit for saying, I'm here. I'm going to be here. And so I got to give him, I'm telling you, I got to give him credit. And I know hometown fans are Tennessee fans. I know. I got to laugh a little bit tonight because there's just nothing to laugh at tonight now.
But it is real though. I
crap out of us. And there's nothing we could, the part that hurts the most is that it just felt like there wasn't enough in the second half. Because we were tied. It's a 0-0 ball game.
Yeah. You should have to lead it.
It just felt like there was lackluster mindset, you good? I'm good. And I'm not saying that's what it was, that's what it felt like.
It has to be desperation.
Yeah. It just
And it is real to what Austin said, the hometown fans being Tennessee fans. Obviously in Nashville there are way more Tennessee fans than there are Vandy fans. But like tonight, I had some relatives over who were from Nashville. I was born there originally, so I got family who lives there. And they were here, and they didn't go to Tennessee, no nothing, but they're lifetime Nashville residents. And one of them was saying this is the most Vandy football I've watched in years. I kind of became a Vandy fan this year. They're actually good for the first time in my entire life. And they were saying stuff like that tonight in my living room. Some people were in here saying that. So don't act like you're not trying to pander to those folks, Austin. We all see it. You're a Vandy guy now. We know that. No.
Oh, God.
No. Austin is a Tennessee grad. We know. All right.
There's not much to laugh at tonight, so we got to have a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I got to do
Right.
something, laugh so I don't cry. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback, Jonathan Crompton. As I said, we'll be back for the bowl game. Coming out with us there. I'll be back Monday with Zach Reagan to talk about firing Heupel on the Big Orange podcast. A to Z Sports Tennessee Volunteers is your YouTube channel to go subscribe to. Go check that out, and we'll hash it out. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, listened to us this year. If you don't show back up to the bowl game, it's always a great time. We appreciate it. Crump, anything else on the way out the door here at the end of the regular season?
It's weird to say that the regular season's over.
It was quick.
Like, it felt like we just started 2 weeks ago. And obviously we'll go into more detail after the bowl game. But man, thank you for everybody that comments. We enjoy it. We love it. Like, I love going back and forth with everybody. I did miss my guy Big Ten Jeff this year a lot of the times. I wish he was around more often. But no, in all seriousness, guys, we appreciate it. It's fun. We couldn't do this without you guys. Hopefully we get a decent draw in a bowl game, but let's be real, it's probably going to be Nashville. Let's be, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's going to be because it's strictly money, because we've got so many fans in Nashville. And looking forward to a really good offseason. Keeping our fingers crossed that the things that need to happen in the portal with players coming into the portal happen. And go from there. I mean, but yeah, we appreciate everything, and just sucks 8-4 versus what we thought.
It's tough, but here we are. We'll see what the ball game is. Be back with you then. Do subscribe, follow, do all the stuff you know what to do. But thank you again for watching. Charlie Burris, Jonathan Crompton, and we'll talk to y'all sometime between December 24th and January 2nd, probably. All right. We'll talk to y'all then.
See you guys.